Hello, my name is Sharika Middlebrooks. I am going to discuss my leadership journey for my class Capstone 2 for Texas A&M University and Organizational Leadership Program. First of all, with my leadership journey, I first started off and I've always known myself to be a servant leader. I have always given 110% of myself in my businesses and whatever I've done. Just to discuss a little bit about myself, I've owned a business now for about 22 years. I've been in business as a salon owner and operator. I have done many things within that business and many facets of open new businesses, even within that business. Everything from designing wigs made for people with cancer or lupus or alopecia to just designing my own product line. Had many opportunities in this business to experience leadership from different facets. My leadership journey actually started as early as seventh grade when I opened my first business and designing and creating jewelry and selling it just around school. I've done this for a long time and I've had many leadership um, positions within the school system from growing up to with my children. This is not my first college journey. I have other degrees and other things that I'm interested. I have other interests, very different from this one. So, to discuss myself, I have always considered myself a servant leader, especially when I started out this program. That's how I would have defined myself at the time. After learning a little bit more, I realized that I'm a little bit more than a servant leader. I'm actually more so of a transformational leader and at times a situational leader as needed. This has really helped form my journey and a key understanding of where I've come from. So, um, so as I address each class, my first class was issues in organizational leadership. I was able to really hone in and discuss some things that I didn't even know were going on, or things that you pull out from yourself, and you have a better definition of understanding what different organizations mean and the differences between being a manager versus being a leader. And I've had the experience of doing both, owning my own salon and dealing with so many different personalities and dealing with so many people. So there are many issues that you do have to handle on a daily basis, and knowing how to handle those things are very important in leadership. Sometimes you don't know if you're going to have to deal with people who are having a bad day, or no matter what the situation is, you have to be able to be on your toes to handle those situations and delegate what needs to be done to handle the situation. In data-driven decision making, this was actually one of my favorite classes. I am more of a mathematician. I love math, and it's one of my favorite subjects, and I love statistics. So I was very interested in learning more, and I actually would like to continue to learn a little bit more, dealing with how they look at the data and associate it with what needs to be done to handle the decisions that need to be made for the future. I think these is a very important endeavor. It's not everything, but it's very important to know, to have the data to back things up. Everything from um, controlling how to handle reading and writing and things with our students in school. I have 4 children, and so they have relied on data sometimes to help get my kids through, and I've actually support that decision sometimes. Um, as far as behavior, ethics, and leadership, I actually learned a lot with this class. A lot of things I thought I knew, I did not know at all. I love learning and applying it to the case studies, and I love the information. I don't learning about how Nissan had to handle their situation. I love learning about Goshen and how he handled the situation initially by delegating getting the information and the feedback from his other from the employees, and learning, what they knew, and having them come in and make choices and help him make decisions. Although it didn't turn out so well in the end for him, but I did like learning about that situation, and about how they handle different situations to get them out of to get them out of the situation they were in. Although I think they may have to call someone back very soon for their current situation. As far as learning the theories and things in this class, I actually really learned a lot from this class, and learned how to kind of both address situations but handle them, and delegate in a manner that needs to happen, or that the situation entails. Leadership theory. In this course, um, I learned a lot about, I think even more so about management, and about how to handle certain dealings and things within organization, my organization, or any future organizations, or anything that I may have to deal with in the future. Um, I had to really think about how to handle, how to deal with, things about leadership, and planning, and finding out about the future, and figuring out how to develop a project, and go work all the way through that project to see how to make improvements, and how to make the whole situation work better as a whole. Um, and as far as the leading change and the leading leadership theory, they had a lot of similarities to me. Um, as far as I was concerned, but it's leading change. I loved how you could look at the in-depth analysis having to do with going into the organization and seeing how it functions, and what you can do to improve the functionality of these companies to work more efficiently. And as far as me, I am a type 1 diabetic, and I happen to have an insulin pump. And an insulin pump company that I looked at was Tandem Diabetes, because that's my actual insulin pump company. The CGM that continues to communicate um, to my insulin pump, it sometimes really has a lot of malfunctions, to the point where it delays the information that I need to handle my blood sugars. And actually, we use data to help us learn how to control my blood sugars, or the foods that I can eat, and things like that. So I love trying to make changes for a company that I'm actually very passionate about. I love Tandem Diabetes, but I would really like for them to venture out and try something different when it comes to dealing with the CGM that they use, which is Dexcom. The capstone class, I really enjoyed all the writing I had to do for the first capstone class. Although I was very nervous about this class, I really felt more comfortable about my writing and my skills, and learning more about myself, and evaluating myself, and all of the things that have culminated and come together for me to really gather um, my leadership skills. That's when I really feel like I'm more of a transformational situational leader, and sometimes still a servant leader. I give 110% of myself within my salon, within my business, and I sometimes I give wigs away to cancer patients for free, just to make sure, even if they can't afford it, they have something. And that has nothing to do with this capstone class, but anyway, that with the capstone class, I was able to really write and figure out who I am as a leader, and I'm still learning as a leader, and I hope to continue to learn and grow as a leader in my community and in my future endeavors. Speaking of future endeavors, I hope to find a job and still continue to own my business, but find a job and doing something else where I can be a great leader for someone, maybe inspire someone to do something else, or maybe have growth within a company that I deal with, like tandem diabetes, on a daily basis. So, and bettering myself on my own leadership journey. Um, that is all for now, and I look forward. I'm so thankful that Texas A&M had this program for us. This made it so much easier to obtain um, another degree. So it's great for me and great for my future. Thank you so much.